Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai, Mahayogi Swami Umanand Saraswati ki jai. Well friends, today we are going to talk about another great saint, Sri TEMBE Swamy. Now I am going to leave again a little work for you so that you find out for me where this saint is from and a little bit of his own history. But I am going to tell you something very interesting and throw light on another dimension which we can, on this path of spiritualism, we can all one or the other day attain it. Now here was a great saint, TEMBE Swamy. He was actually a guru of another great guru, Vaman Goyoni Maharaj. We will be sharing about him too. But TEMBE Swamy had two great features which I would love to talk about. One thing was he would only receive the meals or the dry rations from certain types of families. Now they belonged to a particular type of a caste, a gotra. I'm not very sure which, but he would take it only from certain type of people who belonged to a certain race. It was not casteism here, it was a mental discipline which probably, and we would have avoided such disciplines, broken those words within a few days if we would have not received it from certain people. We would have said, okay, I don't mind taking from you, then I don't mind taking from you because I don't get any rations. That's what he never did. He would stick to this routine and this vow that he had taken, and whether it would be for days together, almost somewhere 50 days together one time, he did not get the right family from whom he could ask for these rations. And TEMBE Swamy stayed without eating food. So this was something which for my own discipline, I thought this is a very good way of understanding how to develop strong will. There was another incident about him. It is supposed to be that he was a worshipper of Lord Dattatreya. Now Lord Dattatreya is supposed to be the culmination of three great forces and three deities, Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma and Lord Mahesh. All three in one together. That also is another interesting story. We may come to it someday. But these two gods, when they came together and culminated into one form, the form was called Lord Dattatreya. And Lord Dattatreya was in the form of a small idol TEMBE Swamy would worship. Now, it so happened that TEMBE Swamy was supposed to leave for a journey on pilgrimage. So when he was to leave, it is said that Lord Dattatreya said that I would like to go with you. Now imagine, I'm hinting to you that the statue was now talking to TEMBE Swamy. Now friends, this speech is probably not the way you and me speak. It is just these intuitional, beautiful exchanges, and we won't worry about it. But all of us will be thrilled if God talked to us. So we will leave it at that and proceed with the story. So he asked TEMBE Swamy that I would like to go with you, and TEMBE Swamy said that you will not get the comforts that you are used to in the four walls of the ashram. You stay back, you will have your daily food and your daily warm water bath and things like that, and probably that I will not be able to render to you on the journey. So Lord Dattatreya said, nothing doing, I am going with you. Now, finally, between the two, of course, the master had to be heard, obeyed. And so TEMBE Swamy took Lord Dattatreya along with him. And one day when he was, one of his days out in the woods in isolation, he wanted to go for a bath. So he left gods where he was dwelling, and he went alone to the rivers. He said, you stay put here, I'll bring some water later and give you a bath, he told the gods. And he went alone to the rivers. And when he was he had the bath and came back, he saw that Lord Dattatreya was not where he had been placed. So he was wondering where it could have gone, where he would have gone, where God would have gone. And then he somehow sensed it, that no, it might be a little mischief of God. He's gone probably to the rivers. And he went back to the rivers. Now when he went and saw in the rivers, he saw Lord Dattatreya lying very well in the rivers and right under the waters, and he saw the little statue there lying as if it had voluntarily come to lie down in waters. Now, TEMBE Swami picked him up and brought him again. He says, why are you doing this? And I had told you to stay put there. So as this conversation was going on between the two, don't doubt about these stories. Let's just accept them. If you can accept Superman, Batman, and concepts like that, let us keep our minds open to such beautiful mythological stories. And let us see what impact it has on us later. Let's not worry about it right now. Let's just enjoy the journey. And he's having a conversation with God. He says, I told you, you stay put in the ashram. Why did you come here? So Lord Dattatreya said, nothing doing. I want a proper bath, I want hot water, I want oil to be smeared on me, and I want very beautiful sandalwood paste, and then the fragrance and light and lamp and flowers and things like that. And I'm not going to have a simple bath like you have had. So, TEMBE Swami was arguing with gods, and some gentleman a little standing far was wondering what is going on between this man and the idol. And he came very close and he looked at TEMBE Swami. He realized that here is some enlightened soul standing here. And of course he's talking to God. So he was wonderstruck. He says, Sir, Master, is there any service we can render? What's going on between you and your God? So TEMBE Swami said, I had told him to stay put in the ashram, and he decided to come with me. And now he wants to have a beautiful bath with all fragrance and water and flowers and sandalwood and oil and things like that. And he says, where am I going to get it from? So the man from the town said, Sir, please allow me to render these services to you. I stay in a village close by. If you come home, we shall make the arrangements. Now, you imagine, this is something very exquisite to the minds of the seekers. These stories, they intoxicate the brains of a seeker. So he goes there with the man of the town and goes to the house. And of course, as promised by the man, he makes all the necessary arrangements. And Lord Dattatreya receives a beautiful worship, a complete total ritualistically. He is worshipped there with all the requirements in the puja. And the foods are offered, the delicacies are made, and slowly the town people come around and they gather, and by evening it becomes a great session. It becomes a great gathering. Now after the gathering, the entire thing is done, the food is had, the meals are had. Now the villagers come and they say, we will be very happy, sir, if you give us a short discourse and a message and an advice on spiritual path. So TEMBE Swami is willing to do it, but at that time Lord Dattatreya says, nothing doing, we are leaving now. Now we are leaving. Now TEMBE Swami says, what is this? We've just come, received their hospitality, and we've had the best of the things that you wanted, and now you want to leave without giving them the required message at least. So he says, nothing doing, I'm leaving now. So TEMBE Swami puts his foot down. He says, no sir, I've heard you once now, Swami, now you'll hear me. We are not going. The moment he said that, Lord Dattatreya is said to have slapped TEMBE Swami real hard on the cheek. And poor TEMBE Swami had a hurt eye. His eye got hurt. So TEMBE Swami very politely said, why? There's another cheek I still have if you want to hit me. It is so sad. This is a beautiful conversation went between them. And then, of course, Lord Dattatreya decided to stay put. And then stay behind. And of course, TEMBE Swami delivered a discourse. And the next morning, Lord, with the devotee, both of them left the town. Now, I am trying to tell you this story not because I want to tell you anything other than miracles, what sort of miracles we can expect. Now, there are miracles which the magicians do, yes, let's not worry about that. But these are miracles where gods tend to talk. Now, I'll be very happy that even amongst the Westerners, there was a movie, Oh God. I had fallen in love with that movie. It was a beautiful movie. All of you must watch. I make most of my devotees watch that movie. Because in that, God is supposed to have picked up one common man from the society to communicate his presence in the world. Now the common man is continuously worried, why is it him? He doesn't want to be chosen by God. Of course, the God keeps on explaining that I have chosen you because you are a simple-hearted person and you are a good person, you are a kind person. So therefore I have chosen you. Now the miraculous things about that story, one or two incidents I will tell you from the movies. It's very interesting. The first time he tends to meet God because every time under his pillow when he lies down, there is a paper he finds which says appointment with God. Now, when he says appointment with God, the first time the man throws away the paper in the dustbin, and the next time then again he tries to sleep, again he finds a similar paper, again with the words appointment with God, he throws that. And third time he takes notice of it, that there is an appointment with God at so-and-so place, in so-and-so building, on so-and-so floor. And this fellow reaches there, he goes there. Because after all, curiosity, it doesn't let you stop. So he goes there. He goes to that floor and he goes into that room and he sees a rocking chair there. And he says, what's this nonsense? Whoever is playing this mischief has to realize that I'm not going to fall for it. So, of course, he comes back down again and he makes inquiry at the reception counter. He says, who's on the 28th floor? That in so-and-so room. So she says, sir, there are no 28 floors, there are only 16 floors. So he goes into the lift again and again he presses the button and again the lift goes up to the 28th floor. Watch it, it's a beautiful movie. Then once again the devotee says to God, he says, if you are there in the car with me, because he keeps on hearing him, if you are there with me, then you let there be rains outside. So he says, why do you want to wet the people outside? Let's have rains in the car. Now friends, watch that movie. That is exactly what I say. This is what can happen. This interaction between a devotee, a seeker and God can continue to exist. This is a beautiful way of relating with the Supreme. Now, I will give you the clue to it. Why is it possible? Why is this possible that there is an interaction between the God and man? Of course, it's not a common thing. Remember, it's not a common thing. It's an uncommon thing. But we are all used to the concepts of listening to the inner voice. How many of us, when we try to cross the streets, one voice tells us, look to your right. The other says, look to your left. Now, this is the inner voice. There are no other person standing around you. Yes, exactly. This is the inner voice which is within you. As I told you earlier, it is represented by the pronoun I in you. When I introduce myself, I say, I am Radhikanand. So the I element is the inner voice of mine and Radhikanand is the name given to this form. So the interaction between the matter and spirit can happen. It can happen It can happen. The interaction between God, the matter and spirit can happen. And that is what we need to learn to grasp when we are meditating. The reason of meditation itself is that you learn to interact and hear your inner voice. This inner voice, the conscious voice, the consciousness which works with us. Yes, remember, it is a consciousness. These are 7 powers we will be talking about slowly later. But this is the consciousness, the inner voice, which tends to talk to you. Either you decide not to listen to it, or you start listening to it very carefully, and that is known as Kanacha Kan Badne. There is a very beautiful spiritual proverb. I won't know whether it is a proverb or it is a statement, but it means that the year becomes the year of the year. EAR. EAR. The eye becomes the eye of the eye. So, these are few things which we need to experience. These are few things which we need to experience. I will tell you one more little incident about this. When I was residing in the ashram of my guru, Mahayogi Umanand Saraswati, which is at Andheri in Bombay, I stayed there for a year. And one day while meditating, I realized that I started hearing a little sound coming. And it was like it would come to me, and slowly, gradually, it would come and go. And the sound was something, nothing like, it was just like a movement of a fan. So it was like, obviously, because it was something like that, I thought I will listen to, probably it is the fan in the room which is making the sound. Then I tried to concentrate. I was sitting at my own place where I was meditating, and I tried to concentrate where the sound was coming from. Then I realized it was not the fan. Then I thought it might be the next room to me from where the sound is coming. Then again my mind concentrated on the next room, sitting there in the similar posture. Again I realized it was not the room next door. Then slowly the sound started coming from a closer distance, and I realized it was a sound which was emerging from me within and which was reaching my ear. And then gradually, when I started focusing on it, I realized that my ear had become the ear of my own self, of my own ear. EAR. Now, once you start listening to these concepts or understanding or experiencing the concepts, you will know what is inner voice. And this is exactly what Sant Jnandev tells to all of us, that he told his guru that whatever I have written is nothing, but it is done because of your intuition which has come to me. Tu mi bolavita mi bolena, I shall speak if you make me speak. Now this is the science which this spiritualism is going to take you to. I know I must have touched a little deeper note on philosophy. Listen and grasp as much as you want. There is still more and more to come. We will gradually go into the depth of it. Don't worry, right now just enjoy the story of TEMBE SWAMY with Lord Dattatreya, and hope that you too one day can hear God speak to you. Friends, I need, if you like these videos, I want each one of you to help me to spread this. Remember, it's not a religion I'm spreading. It's only some very interesting spiritual developments which can be attained through any religion at any point from anyone. So, but these are the inner laws of spiritualism. And if you help me to share and the message can spread from person to person, please do it. If you help me to get 100 subscribers, please inform me that you have got me, and we will offer special prayers for you in my ashram. And those prayers will be recitations of Shri Rudra, Shri Guru Gita, and in your name. So if you are tempted to do so, please join hands with me and let's make a beautiful chain which will encompass the entire world. Let us reach out, let us enclose. I'm sure it's just a globe. It cannot be beyond our capacity. Man has too much to offer. Let us all try and share it. This is Swami Radhikanand from Pune. Thank you so much.